Hey guys, Debbie here. So, I had a conversation with a friend of mine, a very dear friend of mine, who's having struggles with her weight just like I am. And we were talking about the overwhelming amount of information that's out there and how hard it is to know what's going to work for you as opposed to what worked for somebody else. Because, just because something works for me doesn't mean it's going to work for you. What works for you may not work for her, so on and so forth. And that is a struggle. It absolutely is a struggle, and it's something that we all go through. But I wanted to just take a minute and talk about. I know in my videos I seem very upbeat and very happy and like really on it, but in talking to her, I realized I need to be as honest and open and upfront doing these videos as I can be. This has not been easy. I have struggled. I told her one of the things that I thought was important when talking to her was to tell her how I started and what made me start. And I did in my first video talk a little bit about my health scare with my blood pressure, etc. And that how that got me to get my butt in gear and start making some better choices. Well, it goes deeper than that. I'm going to be 57 this summer, and I would like to live independently and be able to enjoy my life for as many years as possible going forward. And we all know how fast time goes. I mean, oh my gosh, it just flies, doesn't it? So I know that the way I was eating, the way I was living, pretty much guaranteed that I would not be living independently for too many more years, that I would need help, that I would need somebody to help me out and to care for me. And that scares the heck out of me. That really does. That terrifies me. I'm a very independent person. I've lived on my own for far too many years to start having to need somebody to take care of me. That's just so scary. That's not something that I can handle at all. So every time I want to cheat, like when I was stuck in the 190s for what felt like ever, I mean, it wasn't forever, but it felt like forever. There were so many times that I just wanted to say, oh, forget it. Just forget it. I'm just going to go back to eating the way I used to eat. Forget it. Why am I putting myself through this? It's not even working. And I got really down on myself and really frustrated and sad. But every time I was going to cheat, I was going to eat outside my eating window, I was going to eat something I knew was horrible for me, I would ask myself this question. Is eating this garbage more important to me right now than being able to live independently for a few more years in my life? And for whatever reason, that worked. Every time that worked. Doing these videos also works because I feel like I have accountability. I feel like you guys are watching this process. You're watching me go through this. And if I fail not just in front of me, but in front of all of you. And that's scary too and intimidating. And sometimes having that accountability does help. So I know that that's been a motivating factor to keep me on track. But the realization that time goes so fast and I'm not getting any younger. And I can't fathom the idea of not being able to live life my way. Healthy and able to do what I want to do when I want to do it. That's my motivation. That's what's keeping me on track. So dig deep, folks. Dig deep and find your motivation. What is it that will stop you from binging, from cheating, from eating stuff you know you shouldn't eat? There's a question there. There's something there that you can ask yourself that'll get you back on track. Find it. Find it. Do some soul search and find that question, because I'm telling you what, outside of these videos, that's what's kept me on track, is finding the motivation, that what I really felt deep in my core that would get me motivated. And that is knowing that I would not be okay having to have somebody take care of me. I couldn't deal with it. And knowing I'm going to be 57 this summer, holy crap, that's really crazy. When I was 20, I thought 57 was so old. It's not, and it doesn't need to be. But it's up to us, isn't it? It's up to us on how old 57 is. How do we feel? Can we take care of ourselves? I mean, let's face it, the choices we make land us where we land, right? So basically, that's my motivating factor, and that's what's keeping me going. And I really pray and hope that all of you find your motivation and find some accountability. If it's joining my Facebook group, Debbie OMAD on Facebook, and putting in your weight there every week and having that as your accountability, do it. Let's do this together. Let's give each other accountability and support because we all need that. Share with me what your motivation is. Share with me what question you can ask yourself that, is eating this garbage food more important than? Finish that sentence, that question for yourselves. Because you'll need it. You'll need it. Everybody knows entering into a new diet and a new lifestyle routines is hard. It's hard to maintain. And I don't want to make it sound like OMAD is so easy. It's not. I have many days where I want to quit. But you got to find what's going to keep you motivated, what's going to keep you going, and use it. And again, please, please, please join the Facebook group. Let's be accountable to each other. Because I don't care who you are, you need somebody to feel like you have some kind of accountability. It helps. It does. Because, hey, we all know, especially as women, we are great at making appointments and keeping our word and doing what we're supposed to do for other people. But when it comes to doing stuff for ourselves, getting ourselves healthy, doing what we need to do for ourselves, most of us aren't very good at that. So that's where accountability comes in. So finish that question. Is eating this garbage food more important than? Finish that question for yourself. Tell us, either here in the comments or go to the Facebook group, Debbie OMAD, and tell us what your question is and what your motivation is. And tell us if you want some accountability, because we'll come up with ideas to help everybody out, because we are in this together. Talk soon. Bye.